Welcome back for another video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's jump right into it. In this video for today, we're just going to go over the current week of my trades so far. Today's Wednesday, April the 9th. So we're going to go over this week, and it's been about a week since the whole tariff news has dropped for the US. And it's been an insane week, as we can see, with this huge push to the upside just out of nowhere. News has not even dropped yet, and of course we've seen all kinds of movement to the downside since last week. But through all of that, we still prevailed this week. I've gone 7 of 8 so far this week on my trades. And of course, I've done this through teaching my different concepts and strategies in my own trade callouts in the Market Mentors Discord, where I've done a lot of my analysis, my positions, my winning trades, and of course, interacting with a lot of the students and helping them become profitable and figure things out as well. So check out the link in the description to join Market Mentors, where we teach these kind of concepts and trades every day. And I'll see you guys there. So just getting back into it. Let's go and start with Monday, with how my first trade of the week went. So looking at Monday, I was just waiting for the price to calm down, open with a huge gap here. I was waiting for price to just calm down and come back and fill this imbalance here. And it started to all throughout London session and Asian session that night. And then towards the beginning of Monday, it was a lot of news. It pushed the upside a lot, and then it kind of just consolidated. Then towards the end of the New York session and the PM session, we see that it swept this liquidity here, then broke to the upside, breaking the swing point, and then have this imbalance to the left behind. Once I saw that, and it retraced back to it around the last macro in the PM session, I looked for an entry. So I saw that it gave me a proper reversal with the AMD model here, seeing that of accumulation, breaking to the downside and sweeping this liquidity, and then breaks the X to the upside and leaves this imbalance here. So once I saw that, then I saw that this distribution leg was also taken out. It pretty much just confirmed the reversal was ready to happen, and I took my entry here based off the same confluences. You see a lot of this accumulation here. It breaks to the downside, then it breaks to the upside, and leaving this imbalance here. And then I set my entry here based on this imbalance, because this imbalance broke this whole accumulation zone. So I set my entry there, and it pretty much went off and then hit take off about 15 to 20 minutes. This is a weird time to take a trade because it's like right at the end of the New York session, but still was a valid setup, and it went through. So that was the first trade of the week. So started the week pretty strong there. Then one on the Tuesday, tried not to force any more trades, but another one showed up at a strange time too. So I traded pre-New York session this time, and just looking at it, it kind of just went up ranging and then consolidated all through like London session. And in the morning, it gave us another area of interest here, or returned back to this area of interest, I should say. Let me rewind and just focus on that one. So same confluences as the previous Monday's trade. So swept this liquidity here to the downside, then it breaks to the upside, breaks this swing point, and it leaves behind this imbalance that caused the swing point to break. And you can see it's already been mitigated here, but essentially since you see it comes back to that area, it kind of just sweeps that liquidity there, and it's still just kind of reacting to that area. And in my eyes, I would say a buy is valid until this low here is broken. So I was really just waiting for it to kind of give me a reversal, then to take the continuation for it and take advantage of this area. So that happened all throughout London session, just kind of played around that area, swept more liquidity, and then it finally gave us the reversal right at pre-New York session. And I kind of just woke up and saw that, okay, the reversal happened right here. Had all this accumulation, broke to the downside, then it broke to the upside, left a lot of imbalance. It's filled. Then I looked for it once this distribution was taken out. I was looking for the continuation, and it gave me this AMD model entry here. And I ended up just taking that, take off these SMAs, and I ended up taking that whenever I woke up. I woke up right about this candle, I believe. One of these two candles, and it happened basically as soon as I woke up. I took it, and pretty straightforward trade, went straight to take profit pretty much, and it was a good way to start the day. But the day was actually pretty interesting because Tuesday ended up pushing up a lot, but then it had a huge sell-off, and I should have taken a lot of advantage of those moves, but I'm just studying a few different concepts, and I didn't want to rush into it. But it was a lot of different moves I could have taken throughout here, and had it really crazy. It could be like 10 of 11 or like 11 for 12 in the week. But it's okay. I'm still 7 of 8. It's a really good week so far. I was waiting for it to hit this imbalance, which is just done in live time. So we'll see what happens with the FOMC minutes coming up in the next 20 or so minutes. Then moving on, I did wait for all this sell-off to happen, and then I just traded Asian session last night because I only took this trade here, and I missed all the moves throughout here. So once it got down in Asian session, I was just looking for potential reversals to go back and buy to the upside. But once I saw that this initial reversal here with this accumulation, swinging to the downside, going to the upside, and then mitigating this imbalance back, once I saw that this happened and then it kind of failed, I was pretty much thinking, okay, we're going to continue to sell. So once I saw this break to the downside, I tried to take a sell based off of this price action here, just seeing a lot of more accumulation, seeing a sell break to the downside and then a sell here. So I tried to sell, and it basically just started to reverse actually from my entry. So that started the initial reversal here with all this accumulation, breaks to the downside here, breaks to the upside, mitigates this imbalance, and then it pushes up to continue to break this distribution leg. So once it broke again here, I knew that it's time to really look for a continuation buy, and it broke that, and the buy literally happened right after it broke that one. So I entered in after this next candle, entered in at this imbalance here, and it went to the upside. So this was that second leg for the reversal, and this was the continuation of that buy. So I took that and it ended up being a valid win, really quick win, took about 5 or 6 minutes. Really quick win that pretty much offset this trade, which ended up being my only loss of the week so far. So you can see it just ended up being a loss. I took these trades at the same, or was in at the same time, and yeah, just trusted my analysis, held both of them. That one, the buy went through, the sell lost, so it's okay. I still ended up being in profit for the day because I had 2 wins this day for the whole day and then this loss. But it's all good. It's still good profit. And then I ended up trading London session too. I just wanted to try it again just to be curious with it. So I ended up going to London session, and it pretty much just pushed up from London session. It had a huge spike around 3 a.m. for some reason, like right at the start of the London session, just kind of pushed up and it just consolidated a lot. And I saw this and I kind of just ignored it. Then I went back to sleep and didn't really expect anything. But I went through and saw it on the 1 minute, and I was potentially looking at this buy here in live time, but I didn't take this move just because it was too large of a range for me. I thought it was just a little strange that this large of a range trade would form, and it's outside of my normal average of parameters. So I didn't take it. I was thinking buys could set up because they have a reversal here. Then this could be like the valid, let's say, continuation. But I didn't like how this accumulation formed with just this small little swing low here. It looks really strange and not normal. So I just stayed out of it. I don't want to force it. And I just had some patience. And we saw that it consolidated all throughout here. And then once it finally started to get to this area around 5 a.m., I saw that it started to give a reversal here, and it had a 15-minute pattern that I started studying this week. So right, these 3 candles started showing a sign of reversal. So once I saw that, and I saw that in the 1 minute, it gave us that structure that started reversing as well. So it gave us this reversal here, and it broke to the downside. Then it gave us another reversal or another break to the downside of this distribution leg that broke all this structure here. Once this one was broken, I pretty much knew it was time to just enter in a sell continuation. And then we see that it's fortunate that it happened, that the sell continuation happened again right after it broke this first distribution leg. So entry happened right after it broke the next candle, and I just took the sell. And this is the second continuation leg, and then it pushes down, breaks this second distribution leg here, and gives us another opportunity to take a short here. And with this third one, it's not something I would probably ideally do, but I figured because it's the third leg, it's either going to lose some momentum and reverse to the upside, or it's going to lose some momentum but hit take profit a little bit slower. So I kind of just took this entry, but I changed how I would take my take profit and just went for the same level as this second leg, which is a little bit risky. If I wouldn't do it again, I was just kind of testing it out. But it ended up going through because the second leg was the ideal trade. And this third leg, it did end up losing a lot of momentum once the second one went through. And it ended up reversing. So this would have been a valid loss if I would have held it to its original take profit. But just understanding that the market moves in threes and in those different legs and flows, and just understanding that this second trade is the really ideal trade for me here is why I just had my take profit at the same level for this trade. So I ended up taking those 2 wins during London session, and I started off the day pretty good today. And then I had a live session this morning with the Market Mentor students in the community, and told them this morning I'm looking for a buys off of this area based off of here that it swept liquidity. It broke this swing point and left all this imbalance here. So once it returned to this imbalance, I told them I was going to look for a continuation buy after a successful reversal. And I got on live at about 9 o'clock. So once all this happened, huge spike up, consolidated a lot, then it finally broke to the upside. And you can see that once this broke, it started to finally form again, another AMD model. And by the time all this happened, we waited for market open, so 9:30 was going to hit, and then it gave us another entry opportunity, or an entry opportunity here. This accumulation zone breaks to the downside, breaks to the upside, leaving this imbalance here, and then it pretty much took off and then consolidated a little bit at around like 9:45ish. Then it hit take profit. But yeah, this was all called out in the Market Mentors Discord. I did this position live. I discussed it and talked about all the reasons why I was doing it. And I discussed, even with this potential trade right here setting up, I discussed the possibility of why I was doing it, or why I was not taking this trade, and why I would have went for the same take profit level as this second trade. So yeah, that was the last trade I've taken so far today. And we're 7 of 8 on the week, and it doesn't look like it, but this trade hit take profit in my actual broker. Just the different price levels don't show in this one. But yeah, this one hit take profit. It's a little different compared to my real broker. But this would have been the same concept as the last London session I just explained. It would have been probably another scenario if I did take this. It would have been where I would have went for this second's trades, or this first continuation's take profit level, instead of this one's own take profit level. So it's all good. It happens, and we just move on to the next trade. I only took this one. It was a win, so I'm just moving on to the next trade. And at this point, I thought I would be done for the day, but kind of flowing with the market again and just being like really zoned in. I was looking at it as this whole thing was a reversal because it broke to the upside, but then once the price consolidates and then breaks to the downside, I kind of saw this as the reversal. Then once this is the distribution leg, and it was broken again. So I kind of said, okay, I'm looking for a continuation sell based off of all this push here and this momentum here. So it kind of retraced back into all this imbalance. Then gave us another AMD model here with very few candles, but it's okay. It gave us all this accumulation here. Breaks to the upside with this swing high. Then it breaks to the downside, breaking all of this. And then left this imbalance here. And then I set my entry there at that imbalance, and it pretty much went straight through to take profit. And that was the last trade I've taken today. And now, so we're at about 14 minutes out from FOMC news. I'm going to look for probably a sell move, just depending on how news reacts, honestly. We're going to see if it breaks probably this low. If we can get a reversal, then take a continuation from it and sell to the downside. We'll see what happens. It kind of depends how news goes. It could literally just push to the upside and skyrocket and tag us to another area of interest somewhere up here or even higher. We'll see what happens, though. So I'll go ahead and wrap the video up here.